Oh, give it up for your DJ playing the hits from the 90s. Khalil Sitloff, everybody. All right. Okay, so let's start like this. Clap if you understand English. That's 98% of the room. All right, over here. How long have you been speaking English for?
Me?
Yeah.
5 years.
5 years, okay. And you're from?
Moscow.
Moscow, all right. That's cool. Well, what do you do?
I teach English.
Teach English. After 5, that's really impressive. Yeah, no, that's good, that's good. All right, so like, what would you say is the hardest part about teaching? Like, wait, let's get this out of the way first. Who do you teach English to? Like kids?
Students.
Students, like what? Like university?
College.
College, okay. What's the hardest part about teaching English for you?
Discipline.
Sorry?
Discipline.
Discipline.
Yeah.
You know what works really well? Beating the shit out of them with a stick. Find that works.
I try not to do it.
Is that allowed in Russia? Is that legal?
What?
Is it allowed in Russia to corporal punishment?
Sometimes.
Sometimes?
Yes.
Yeah. They gotta bring that back. That's what I think. I don't know. I'm also an English teacher. Well, my biggest problem is explaining grammar, because I don't know grammar. You know, because I came out of the vagina speaking English, so it's downloaded on my brain already. All right. Okay. I bet you can't explain Russian grammar. No. See? It's the same thing. All right. So English teaching, do you love it, or is it just for the money?
I like it.
You like it?
Yeah.
Obviously, because there is no money in it, right? Boom, boom, psh. Okay. What's your name?
Olga?
Olga. Is this your first time at a comedy show?
Yeah.
Okay. And how did you hear about this? Or did you just hear by accident?
In social net.
Social network.
Yeah.
Great. So you heard about English Moscow comedy, and you're like, comedy, gotta be there.
Yeah.
All right. What are you expecting for your first time at a comedy show? You're like a comedy virgin. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
We're using allegory, metaphor,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So you're a comedy virgin. What are you expecting for your first time? Are you nervous, first of all?
I'm not nervous.
Not nervous. Okay, that's good. You're brave, adventurous. What do you expect from a comedy show?
Humor? Maybe.
Humor.
Maybe.
How can you expect humor from a comedy show? That's a little outrageous. All right, we need to lower. No, just kidding. I'm just kidding. All right. Jokes and jokes and jokes. Okay. And your friend, who's sitting next to you? What's your name, sir? You don't know him. Oh, but maybe you will. Yeah. Right? Cupid and comedy. They both start with C. Alliteration. Right? All right. Okay. I'm just fucking with you. What's your name, sir? Yevgeny. You go by Yevgeny or Zhenya? What do you prefer? Zhenya. Okay, it's more casual. There we go. All right. And what do you do? Doing nothing. Good for you. Good for you. And it's your first time at a comedy show?
On this open mic, yeah.
This open mic. What? First time at an English?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. All right. So how did you just found us on the internet or?
Yeah, VK.
VK. Good job, guys. Good job. Social networking. All right. Who's your favorite? So you're familiar with comedy and
Yeah.
culture. So do you have a favorite comedian?
Who's?
Hey. Okay. We have a lot of Louis C.K. copycats here, so you're going to be very happy. All right. All right, that's great. Anybody else here for the first time? No, that's it. All right. So we have 2 audience members. It's normal. The rest of you assholes are all comedians. Okay, that's cool. All right. Some of you are performing, some of you aren't. All right. Here's the thing, guys. When I was growing up, I went to a Catholic school, and I read the Bible twice. Once when I was 12, out of guilt. Made me feel guilty, so I read it. And once again this afternoon during my lunch break to prepare for this set. And has anybody read the Bible here? The Old Testament?
Yes.
You have? What's your favorite story from the Bible?
The one about Jews.
The one about Jews. Why did they say, this is what they said last time too, in the Old Testament they are all Jews. The Jews are the main characters, and then there's some Egyptians and some Philistines, but all right, the one about the Jews. They're all about the Jews. Okay. Anybody else? Bible? Favorite stories? Listen, if you haven't read the Bible, I highly recommend it. That shit is, especially the Old Testament. My teacher told me the Old Testament is like a soap opera. And it is a soap opera of this crazy character, this alcoholic, bipolar, maniac, scorned lover. His name is God. His name is God. He's crazy. Where do we begin? Okay, God's first friend was a guy named Abraham. That was his first friend that he ever had, ever. Abraham. And they were talking. It's like, hey, you're a cool guy. And I was like, yeah, you're a cool guy too. All right, so let's hang out on the top of a mountain. Bring your kid. Bring your kid, take this rod, stab it right through his fucking chest, and then set him on fire. And Abraham was like, And God said, you do love me, don't you? And Abraham was like, well, I also don't have a lot of friends, so... And so he picked up the rod, tied his son up. This is not, by the way, look, I'm not shitting on anybody's religion, if anybody's religious, look, I'm just doing a book report. This is just a book report, I'm just reporting what I've read, okay? Abraham ties his kid up and takes the rod, and he's really about to do it. He's really about to plunge it right into his son Isaac's heart. And then at the last minute, God goes, wait, no, I was just fucking with you, man. You're actually gonna do it? Man, you are a gangster-ass motherfucker. All right, you're cool, man, you're cool, all right. Yeah, I'm tired, let's go back down to the end of the mountain, smoke a joint. I don't know. That was Abraham. Moses. A lot of shit happened with Moses. One day God decided, Moses leads God's people out of the desert. And one day God was drunk. I think he just blind drunk. He wanted to fight somebody and he decided he wanted to fight Moses, his number one fan. And he's ready to kill him. And it's Moses' wife saved Moses. How? Anybody get any ideas?
Blowjob.
Not even close. She pulled out a knife to stab God? No. To cut off a part of her son's penis, the foreskin. I'm not making this up. And she throws it on Moses' feet. And then God fucks off. Why do you think that happened? Do you think do you think Moses' son's foreskin was magical? Or do you think God was just freaked out that he saw the first circumcision out of nowhere? What do you think it was?
Disgusting.
It was disgusting? I don't know, we'll work on that one. All right, who else did God fuck around with? Aaron Onan, who knows about this story? Little known story. All right, so God was hanging out with Aaron Onan. They're brothers. And he goes to Onan, he says, you know, you're cool, but I think your brother's a bit of a dick. I'm going to kill him. So he killed him. And he goes, do you think your brother's wife is hot? And Onan is like, I don't know, I guess. He's like, all right, go fuck her. And Onan's like, I don't know. It doesn't seem right. He's like, and he pulled out his gun and he says, go fuck her or I will kill you. So he does. And then just before coming to fruition, he pulls out. In the pull and pray method, and then it doesn't say this in the Bible, I'm just reading between the lines. He blows his load all over her belly, I don't know. And then God goes, that doesn't count. Boom, and he kills him. Okay, that was dark. With no punchline. All right, last one. Okay. This is the last one, and then I'll introduce your first comic. God was a shitty fighter. He liked to hide out in the bushes sometimes, get drunk, jump out and attack people, and he attacked Jacob in the middle of the night, and they fought for 12 hours. Literally 12 hours. That's what it says in the Bible. They wrestled for 12 hours, and nobody was winning. And then God said, wait a minute, I'm God. And he dislocated Jacob's hip. So now Jacob's fighting with a dislocated hip. And Jacob still won. So God cheated, and he still lost. And he's God. So he's a really shitty fighter, and Jacob put him in a headlock and said, give me a blessing, say uncle, say uncle. And there will be a punchline to this joke by the end of this week. Okay, that's it for me. All right, so we have a great lineup for you. Let me just refer to my notes. I know who's first. The first comedian is very exotic. If you like brown sugar, you're Olga. What do you think about brown sugar?
That's great.
We love
It's
it.
great. Well, please, Olga, Zhenya, the rest of you people, please join me. Put your hands together as we bring on our first comedian, all the way from Minsk. His name is Arun Korana.
Alright. Brown sugar, I like that, I'm gonna use that in my Tinder profile. Brown sugar. It's a stand-up open mic. I'm gonna sit down if that's cool though. I'm gonna sit down, open mic. Those two are the only audience members, right? And how's your English?
Here's a mic.
No, both of you. You guys are together? You know, every time I ask that question, it's always the same thing. The guy looks at the girl and the girl says no. Every time. Anywhere in Moscow. I swear to God, it's the same thing. Okay. Question for the lady. What's your name, ma'am? Olga? Olga, awesome. Have you ever been rejected by a man?
What?
Have you ever been rejected by a man?
Yeah?
Yeah? That sucks. What did you do when he rejected you? So he said, what?
I drank.
You drank.
Yeah.
What did you drink?
Alcohol.
Alcohol.
And water.
Cool. And water.
Yeah.
Stay hydrated.
Awesome, I like it.
For health.
Oh, for health, okay. Do you drink a lot?
Yeah. For health.
For health.
Yeah.
Not water, like alcohol.
No water.
Water. You don't drink a lot of alcohol?
No.
Okay, that's not part of the joke, I just wanted to know.
Okay.
Awesome. I'm...
Alcohol.
Yes, that's great, I like it. Adrian said I'm from Minsk, that's true, I was born in Minsk, but obviously I don't look like a Belarus, right? Which one's near still? What's so funny? Come on!
You do look like.
I do look like what?
Like Belarus.
Like Belarus? Lady, you need to get your eyes checked. I'm from India. Have you been to India, Olga?
No.
No? Why? Why haven't you been to India?
I will go one day.
You will go one day?
Yeah.
With me?
Okay.
Alright. It's a date.
In India.
I told you guys I would get a date, you shits. I was in India, there's a lot of crazy shit going on. Not the best advertisement, but a lot of crazy shit going on. You said that when a man rejected you, you started drinking, right? When I read this news article where a man rejected a woman and she threw acid in his face. Scary, right? Happens, right? That's why I never give women the chance to reject me. You know? I don't want to throw acid in their faces. That's creepy, right? I don't know where I was going with this. I'm just going to move on to the next joke. Have you been to the US of A? No? Why? Now I'm fucking with you, for real though. Another news article I read in the USA, true story by the way, you can check it out online. This gunman, this robber, Gravitel, breaks into a house. He has a gun and stuff, he's pointing it at the family, they're scared. But the woman of the family saved the family. Do you know how she did that? How do you think she did that? She sucked his dick. No joke, true story. I read the news article and it's written there. She's like, I saved my family by giving a blowjob. Now, below that there were two comments, one from the woman and one from her husband. The woman said, thank God I'm really good at that. I saved my family. This killed me. The husband was like, she saved our family. She saved our family. But she really seemed to enjoy herself. And I was thinking, you know what's a good way to get a blowjob? threaten your own kids. It's simple. Walk into a house with a gun, point them at your kids, and your wife is going to blow you. Is that true? Would you do that? Would you blow up? Would you suck a dick to save your
Why do
family?
you read news like that?
Why do I read news like that?
Yeah.
'Cause I'm
Maybe
single.
about culture, politics, no? No
This-
like it?
This is politics.
Oh,
Sexual politics. Okay, last joke. Do you use Facebook? Everyone uses Facebook, right? Everyone's on Facebook? Not Kontakte Facebook, the real one. Do you guys have the nearby function enabled? Geotagging. It tells you when people are nearby and stuff, and what's nearby. Well, I recently started using nearby function, and for some reason Facebook broadcasted to all my friends that I was at the International Cake Academy. Now I understand I've gotten a little fat. I understand that. But I wasn't at the International Cake Academy. I was at a strip club next to it, and there was cake there, obviously. But you know what, Adrian? Adrian, can you walk me off?
Sure.
I need your hand for this.
Alright, come. Music.
Thank you, buddy.
Alright.
There he goes. Brown sugar. Arun Kulrana. All right. So it's a little more, it does feel a little more, you feel a little more casual like this, a little bit more laid back and passive. All right. So yeah, we got more comedians showing up, more and more as time goes on, so it's going to get more Russian as time goes on. So it's just what you're looking for, right, Zhenya?
Yeah.
All right. But before that, I'm going to bring on an international comedian. This guy has been doing comedy here in Moscow for over 2 years. Went on a Balkans tour called From Russia with Laugh, and he's very funny. Please put your hands together for Igor Monday. Thank you. Okay, so who reads the news besides Arun? Who reads the news?
Blowjobs.
No, the real news. Anyone reads the news? No one reads the news. What kind of fucking people are you? What was the biggest news last week? Biggest news in the world? In Russia?
Trump.
What? Trump? That's the second biggest. There was a bigger news than this. The biggest news.
Everything is still shit.
That's not news. The biggest news in Russia was in Sakhalin. Is that what it's called? Sakhalin. There was a snow festival that was cancelled. And the news headline was, "Snow festival cancelled because of too much snow." I shit you not, this is the real, you can Google it. Snow festival cancelled because of too much snow. And I think this is something that can happen only for the snow festival. I don't think it would ever be a headline, "Music festival cancelled. Too much music." How would that even happen? It's like they arranged the whole festival. They're done. They're like, the event manager is just chilling in his office, just smoking, relaxing, and the intern walks in and he's like, boss, I have some great news. And the guy's like, what can be greater than organizing a music festival? And he goes, "We booked another act." And the guy's like, "Oh, we have too much music now. We have to cancel the festival." Or bring in Nickelback, because it's gonna balance it out. Justin Bieber. Okay, so we have an English teacher. You're an English teacher, right? And you all had English lessons at school, at university, right? A funny thing happened 3 days ago in the metro. I was going in the evening to the bar, and there was a woman in her 50s with a little kid. I suppose it's not his granny or something, I suppose it's his tutor. Because she kept trying to teach him English. Everything they were doing, she was translating to him and making him repeat it. And I finally understood why people in this country speak such bad English. Because they enter the train and they sit down and the woman says, "Мы едем в поезде." And then she says to the kid, "We are in train," not translating properly to the kid. And the kid and she's like, "Repeat, we are in train." And he asked her how to say wagon, like how to say we are in one part of the train. And she goes, wagon. And then I understood that's where all the mistakes of English come from in this country. Then they leave the train, and she goes to him, Naleva. Repeat. On the right. And he repeats, on the right. And I'm like, this is not right. This is... Okay, next joke. This one is not working. I was... More news. Who likes technology? Who likes video games?
Yeah.
Who likes technology and gadgets? You know PlayStation? Do you know PlayStation VR? Virtual reality. Or you know it in like shopping malls and stuff. They have it everywhere now. The virtual reality, you put the mask on and then you have a feeling like you are there in the game. So I was really interested in this. So I was reading about PlayStation VR, and then I saw the section that said games. And I'm like, oh, let me see what kind of games they offer for virtual reality. So I'm gonna read you some of the games. Fruit Ninja, you know Fruit Ninja? Slicing the fruits and so on. NBA 2017, basketball.
2K17.
Yeah, that one. Batman. Job Simulator. Job Simulator. Yeah, that's the one. Job Simulator. Is that what you want to play in virtual reality? That was the first game ever released for virtual Job Simulator. Literally, you come home from work, you turn on the console, and you're like, great, let's work. And I was reading about this. That's not the funny part. The funny part, I was reading about the game. I'm like, what the fuck is a job simulator? And there is a description of what happens in the game. It says, I quote, this is a real thing. The game also features a special spectator mode. You can go into the game to watch other people work. That's the game. That's the virtual reality. Just fucking go and sit anywhere where people work and be like, fuck you, construction workers. Also, aside from the first-person view, the player wearing the helmet can position cameras around themselves and switch between them, which can provide a viewport to the external screen or the VR setup. Not only you can watch other people work, other people can watch you watch other people work. This is amazing. Like, what the fuck is that? Who pays for this shit? And then, well, let me find the best paragraph. Yeah, I have one sentence to read when I find it. All right. For example, in the office worker simulation, players engage in activities like evaluating new employees and transferring calls. All the excitement of office jobs, transferring fucking calls, but are also called upon to eat donuts, share photos at the water cooler, and participate in other office tasks. So this game basically provides you an environment where you can watch other people work or transfer calls. This is the future of gaming. Thank you guys, you've been great. Igor Monday! So guys, it's your first DMC show. Just so you know, Igor hosts, we have a big show just down the street at Jim and Jack's every Friday. That's Igor hosts that show, Igor Monday. And it's a packed house. Have you ever been to Jim and Jack's before?
No.
You gotta check that shit out, man. That's the place to be. That's the expatriate / local bar. It's everything. It's perfect. It's a great place for comedy. Igor Monday is hosting that shit on Friday. All right, so let's bring on the next comedian. I've not seen this guy perform yet. He's from the Russian circuit. He's sitting right over here. His name is Zhenya. Please welcome Zhenya to the stage.
Hi, how you doing? Thank you so much. Thank you. I just want to start with no jokes, just my personal stuff. I just want to share with you. Actually, my father died 2 weeks ago, and that's a true story. And I had to be in home, so I just left my job for a week. I haven't been at job. And my boss, he came to me and said, "What's going on? You haven't been here for 5 days." And I said, "You know what? My father's died, so He said, "No, wait a second. When your father's die, you have to be off for 3 days, not 5 days." And I was like, "Are you fucking serious? I mean, what the fuck are you talking about?" I was not quite sure that. And what about mom? I mean, it's the 4 days or what? I just don't want to know it. But and he said, no, you gotta be careful about this shit because this is the rule. This is how the job works. You have to follow the rules. So when your father dies, 3 days. And he's got a wife, he's got a small kid, and I'm wondering, when his son gonna die, does he want to take coffee break or just like keep working? Like, no, that's okay, no problem. Thank you. That's just personal things. I'm working in advertising, making commercials, and some of my colleagues, all of them actually, every day they just crying. They like, I hate this job. It's so tough. It's so tough. I'm like in the box here in this office, like in the box, shit, like in the box. Always complaining, every day. Because, and that makes me piss off because I used to work in a Mexican restaurant with the actual Mexicans, and some of them really lives in the box. I mean, in the real one, and none of them are, complaining. They just, oh, that's okay, just keep working. One guy, he just fucking cut his finger off during the work. That's true, he's just cut his finger off. I saw that, I just stopped. He was like, oh, please don't talk to the manager. Please. I mean, you have no fucking finger right now, are you fucking kidding me? He was like, oh, please, don't say to the manager because I have to go to the work. And the work, his job in the restaurant was just one of the 3 jobs. He's got 3 jobs. All the Mexicans that was, always screaming at him were like, hey, you lazy boy, because only 3 jobs. And they were not complaining, really. And that's what makes me, pissed off when I see my colleagues and they, every morning they start to say, oh, this cappuccino is not hot enough for me. Fucking bitches. Donald Trump, right? I'm not super, professional in politics, but anyway, everybody talks about it, and I think that Trump is a great guy because of his career in wrestling. I mean, that's what I really respect. I hope that one day, it's gonna be like a super tough negotiations, like it's gonna be China, Russia, United States, Iran, Iraq, all together, very important things, they like super negotiations. And one moment, just Donald Trump stand up and say, wait a second, who is this guy? And this guy stand up and say, me, John Cena! And things starts flying, right there. That's gonna be awesome. I mean, the best thing in politics that could happen ever. And I saw a video on YouTube today, and Miley Cyrus are crying, sitting in front of the fucking camera and saying, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm so disappointed, I hope that Hillary is gonna be the president. And she's like super crying. And after that she said, because, and I thought, wow, because maybe she's gonna explain because she's a good politician or so on, because, no, she said, because she's woman and I wanna have the first female president. I thought, wow, that is the reason you're crying, and that's the only thing you're choosing. And you know what? I was so surprised when I saw that in Washington DC, they made a camera, you can stand in front of it, and every day they just keep repeating the one phrase, you can't divide us, he can't divide us, he can't divide us, meaning Donald Trump, who can't divide American nation. That's cool, but I saw one thing, and that's the last thing I'm gonna say. The 3 guys, it's a white couple and 1 black guy, they just standing together like this, and keep saying, he'll not divide us, he'll not divide us, he'll not divide us, like million times. And I watched the black guy, and like, on 100 and, like 155 times, he repeated that, and the one moment he just started, yeah. Yeah. And the white couple just, he'll not divide us, he'll not divide us. Yeah. And he wanted to leave already, but they just keep pronouncing that shit. And I mean, you're already divided. Fuck you. Thank you so much.
Give me go, Virginia. That was cool, man. Nice. There's so many little tags there, but yeah, let's just get that all of that 60-pound gorilla, 60-ton gorilla out of the way. How many people here are happy that Donald Trump is now the president of the United States? Clap. That, for this room, that's a rousing support, by the way. For a room this size, that's just like, holy shit, everybody's really like having a wet dream over Donald Trump. I was, it's weird. I saw the election at first when I was at home in Canada. That's where I'm from. So we're not supposed to like Donald Trump, and I didn't like Donald Trump when I was there. And then I came here, and I'm like, I get paid in rubles, so go Trump. That's how I feel now. But I talked to my parents on the phone, and they said that everybody in Canada, you know that the Americans that are upset want to move to Canada. They crashed our immigration site. Did you know this? This is true. I'm not making this up. This is true. So there's actually people in Canada are happy now about Trump because the unemployment is at 0 in Canada now for the first time in history because every man, woman, and child has a job building a wall across our border to keep out illegal Americans. Sorry, Blake. Okay. Moving along, let's get the next comedian on. He's the last international comic of the night. So over our Russians afterwards, please welcome Aben Awazi. I know I mispronounced your name, I'm sorry.
Thanks, bro. Hello people. We have comedians, and 2 people over here. By the way, about Trump, like a lot of people are saying, Trump will be the death of civilization, Trump will kill it. Like, guys, we survived George Bush Jr. 8 years of George Bush. Well, not all Arabs, but anyways. But the only, fuck that joke, I know. The only, people who should be afraid of Donald Trump, to be honest, is us. Future stand-up comedians. Because every bar, after, on his speeches, all they have to do is on a projector, just put whatever he says, and that's it. He's stand-up comedy in itself, right? That joke will be, fixed later. So we have Olga and Jania, right? Each time when I perform, I like to give the audience kind of a chance to decide what I will talk about. So Jania, what do you want to talk about? Education or culture? Jordanian culture?
Culture.
Oh fuck, I thought he was going to go for education. Let's talk about, why not? Let's talk about culture. So, fuck it, let's talk about education. Because I'm not sure to follow about that. So, the thing about education, which I noticed, like there are in some schools, or like in United States or so on, they teach sex education, right? Right? Does anyone know that? Like they teach sex education, and I didn't understand why until I asked, and some people told me like they show the students a video of a lion and a lioness, lioness, right? That's the English female. Yeah, and they have sex, and then they start showing, this is the, the lion's penis. It will enter into the lioness's magical place, which you will never see until you're 35, or married, as in my case. But until it enters. So, but in my country, in Jordan, right now they're doing this. They're teaching them by showing them a camel and a cameless. Is that the English way to say it? I have no idea. Or a camel and a goat, interracial sex. My problem, I always imagine the shit that I say, and it's really horrifying. But the way that I learned about sex, like, that people have sex, was through my father's VHS videos, not his home movies, no. Nobody got that joke, to fix it later, you don't like. Yes, or through our neighbor's Fuzzy TV. Now I know what you're wondering. Abel, what's a Fuzzy TV? Here is what's a Fuzzy TV. A Fuzzy TV is when you steal the cable from your neighbor, and whatever the neighbor switches to, whatever channel they switch to, that's the channel you watch on your own TV. So we had kind of at 6, 7 a.m. was Tom and Jerry, At 2 p.m. it was the news, like 3 p.m. the news. At 9 p.m. it was an American movie, and at 1:30 it was lotion and olive oil time. But there's a problem with the Fuzzy TV. Because it's, you cannot do it alone. It's a two-man operation. It's not that you're sitting, someone jacking off to you, no. It's that you need to, like my cousin would be behind the TV, fixing the cable, while I'm standing in front of him, masturbating, you know, on the TV. Then it would be my turn to fix that cable while he, you know, salutes his dictator.
Why?
Yeah, where were we? Oh yes. But that's Jenny, right? And Felix. Like, would you do that to your friend? Like, you can never call yourself a friend or a brother until you know you hold the cable, you know, for him while he jacks off on you, in front of you. Sorry, in front of you. You know what's the problem with the Fuzzy TV thing? That the screen keeps on flipping. Don't leave. The screen keeps on flipping, you know? Like, you need to measure it as quickly as possible, you know, to the screen. And I used to call it strokes per frame, or SPF. I used to have 30 SPF, so very, very quick. Well, since we're speaking about, you know, sex and sex movies, let's talk about, you know, porn. Does any of you, you know, stream their porn? Stream. You don't stream. There's one liar. You stream your porn? You have no idea what I'm talking about.
Every day.
Every day. You're fucking lazy. At my time, we used to download it. You know, remember dial-up? Do you remember that? We used to download the movies. But in Jordan, like, some people, you know, like, they would have this, the pictures, you know, while you're searching, you take 3 hours to search for the perfect picture for you. Then you find it, you click on it, like, you wait for it, first off, you know, from the beginning, then the pixels. In Jordan, it was from the right, because that's how we read. Nobody got the joke again. What was I? Yes, porn movies. And no, so none of you download your porn movie. Like, you don't go to My Computer, D, Street Fighter, Save Games, New Folder 1, New Folder 2. Remember this? This is not a porn folder. I used to hide my porn in Abed's stand-up videos, because nobody watches it. Nobody is, you know, like, why the fuck should we click on this? And I know some of you right now will go back home and switch, you know, the name of his porn folder to Abed's stand-up videos, no, because nobody will enter it. Once, this is true, like, I didn't find where my porn movies were. I searched in Abed's stand-up videos, then I found it in my master's thesis. That's where I used to hide my porn, apparently. And I double-clicked on it, and apparently it says, like, enter password. I put a password, and I'm like, okay, so I put African penis 85, incorrect. So I put the password that we all know, which is password. Bro, like, this was, I think, everyone's first password. We thought that we were really smart, like, password? Oh, password, no problem, because I will always see it. Didn't work, so I put password, 123, smarter, didn't work. I got so frustrated that I said, fuck! Password accepted. Thank God for voice recognition. Thank you so much for having me. Ciao.
That was Ahmed Owazi, all right. Not all the jokes are going to be about porn.
Okay.
We have a lady coming. Okay, you're coming back. All right, that's good. All right. So since she's gone, I remember the days of downloading porn. Just so you know, I'm old enough for that too. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Before this degenerates any further, let's just keep this train going and let's bring on the next comedian. Also, someone I haven't seen yet. Very looking forward to it though. Sitting right in front of me. Please welcome Ivan.
Hello everybody. I'm so sorry but my English suck and dick. Recently I read that the scientists have proven that dolphins smarter dolphins smarter than humans. Scientists has proven that humans sucks, and scientists has proven. What kind of the scientist? Is it a dolphin? Is it a dolphin, dudes? Yeah. Wait a minute. Who tell me when some dolphins won a chess tournament? And now, let's look at this of astronauts. Gagarin was in space. Tereshkova was in space. Armstrong was in space. 2 dogs were in space. Monkey Sam was in space. Now wait a minute, we were dolphins. They jumped over the hole because they are losers. They are losers. I would understand if they were jumped over the hole on the moon. That's one small jump for a dolphin and a giant leap for all sea population. Dolphins. Did you know that in Russian army we have a unit of combat dolphins? I hope I didn't disclose some military secrets. And some of them have a rank of sergeant. And I'm a regular soldier. I'm very afraid that the war will start because dolphins will bully me. Like, I said, get up, looking boy. It's a tail on my face. It's just uncivilized. I hate dolphins now. Dolphins so stupid. I found about them a dirty information. It's a library. And I found it. There are methods of training. If dolphins make some job, trainer masturbate for dolphins, you know? Masturbate for dolphins. Like, oh, what a dolphin. You bring me a ball. That's my boy. Jump over the hoop. Please masturbate. That was a dolphin with a kosher deal. That's why a very long process. Okay. In Russia there is a law on domestic violence or family violence. And I don't remember exactly, but I can beat my wife 1 day a year. Can you imagine? I choose my birthday.
That's okay.
Okay, thank you very much.
Alright, keep it going for Ivan. Dolphins. Dolphins seem to be it's a thing nowadays. What is it with dolphins? Have you swam with dolphins or? It's not just him. Dolphins is all the rage amongst Russian comedians, I've noticed. What, like dolphins making, is there a dolphin park in Moscow or what? Why do you like dolphins so much, you guys? Sliatlov, I know I'm talking to you too. You talked about dolphins as well. You're a part of this.
You know, Putin is half dolphin.
Is he a half dolphin? Okay. Alright.
That's the reason.
Hey, just for the record, he said it, not me. Okay. Alright, so, speaking of that guy back there who's playing music, he happens to be our next comedian, resident DJ, very funny man. Please put your hands together for Kirill Sietlov. And there goes the music. Okay, you just have to sing. Let's just sing. We are the world. No? Okay, all right.
I tried.
Thank you.
Good evening, I love you. My love goes here and there, and you know how it works. Okay, my wife is pregnant, and I'm gonna be dead. Yes, it's not an achievement, it's more like miscalculation, you know. More than that, this is the second child. This will be the second child. Yes, the second, yes. This is not the old joke. The new joke about the second child. So, new joke about the second child. It just sounds similar to the old one. But this is the absolutely new joke.
The same joke about another
Okay,
person.
shut up. And you know, it's cool to be preparing for the new baby because it will be totally new, you know, a baby without an experience at all. So it will be easier to tell any lie to it. It will believe me because I'm dead, and it will totally work. With the first child, I did everything wrong. I said only true stuff. I said that the grass is green, you know, and mom loves you, and all this uninteresting stuff, full of love. And with the second child, I have the second chance to make it all interesting. I mean, I can tell the baby that we are all aliens, for example. We are all aliens, and and you came out of alien vagina, yeah, but you are still Earthling, because this is how it works in our world, baby. Any shit. Chickens are whales, or I don't know. Mammals doesn't exist. Jesus was our neighbor, but then he died. I mean, anything. And then baby's life will be ruined because of this knowledge, and we'll fight, and maybe I'll be killed. But for the first time, it will be interesting, and so I'm thinking about it. And about my second, it was about my second child. I want to tell you some stuff about my elder baby. My son has grandparents, grandma and granddad, my parents, and you know, they wanted to baptize him. And I didn't like this idea. I didn't want to baptize my son. I believe that when he will be old enough, he'll decide. Does he like the idea of all this, you know, nice traditional stuff, full of gold and violence and unbelievable things, or doesn't he like? And so I didn't want to baptize my son, but his grandparents wanted to baptize him, and every meeting was full of these speeches like you need to baptize your baby because he will go to hell without baptizing. He needs his angel, and he needs baptizing, and he needs being baptized, and all this. But then my son became 1 year old, and all the speeches stopped. So there are two ways what could have happened. The first one, they agreed to my solution to not baptize the son, and the other way, they secretly baptized him. So they secretly, probably my son is secretly baptized, and yes, he's secretly baptized, and you never know. So maybe we all are secretly baptized. That is what I'm speaking about, secret baptizing. Okay, you know, Trump is now President of the United States, and I've been studying English for the whole life, for all of my life. I've studied and studied English, and maybe this is time to stop. Maybe this is time to stop studying English because I don't need it no more. One of the points learning English was, to learn English enough to go to the United States, and now I don't need English anymore because in a few years Trump will destroy the whole American culture, and I won't need to go there, and he's against immigrants, so I won't be able to come there as immigrant, and so fuck it, fuck English. I mean, that's nice to know English good enough to say fuck it. And last one, what about teeth? What about teeth? Why all the teeth are white? Are they racist? That is my question. Are your teeth racist? Do you know everything about your mouth? Do you?
No.
Yes.
Yes.
You don't know anything